I've been saying for years that I didn't think the US would ever introduce CBDCs. My reasoning being that this is really encroaching on commercial banking activities, and commercial banks wouldn't stand for it, and they bankroll virtually all the politicians. So what are the politicians? I mean, if the politicians don't want to take the money from the banks, then they'll be free to vote as they wish. But I think it would be an absolute idiot as a congressman or a senator who would take that view. So this will go through, and if the dollar doesn't permit CBDCs, dollar CBDCs, then I think the whole of the CBDC movement is probably going dead. I mean, it makes no sense for any other currency to do it if this is denied. For the dollar. The hope was the Basel Committee was hoping, when they sort of started centralizing all the information coming in from here, there, everywhere. They constructed this thing where central banks could actually manage the economies a lot more effectively by targeting credit in the form of CBDCs directly at this, that, or the other, whether it was businesses or whether it was consumers and so on. And it would require everybody to have an account, effectively a bank account with the central bank. And the economy would be managed. Now, anybody with sort of, if you like, free market vibes would know that wouldn't work anyway. But it is a massive undertaking. It would take an awful long time. I mean, it takes legislation. And the first bit of legislation we've had out of America, I mean, we've got to the white paper bit where the Bank of England looked at it, said, yes, we'll do it. But if they did it, they wouldn't open accounts with businesses and so on. They would just maintain banks with commercial banks, and they would do it through commercial banks. So the commercial banks, if you like, would retain the control, if you like, over digital currency, which is all it is. America, by turning around and saying no verboten, I think basically has put a spanner in that Basel Committee's work. It's not Basel, it's the Bank of International Settlements Committee's work on CBDCs. I think we can forget it now.
Okay, or could this be, maybe they're going the Genius Act, and that's a way for them almost to print dollars without paying any interest on them through this digital stablecoin? I'm not sure if you have a different opinion about it.
Well, I mean, it's not quite like that. I mean, the Genius Act basically permits banks and other licensed financial institutions to issue stablecoins. One of the conditions is that the stablecoins must pay no interest. And of course, in theory, this should be very nice for the banks because they operate almost like a bank of deposit, because what they do is they issue the stable coins. And on the other side of the balance sheet, they buy US treasuries, US T-bills, in fact, with no more than 3 months maturity. So it's a risk-free deal for which at the moment they get 4.35% spread. I mean, wonderful. The snag with it is persuading people to take a stable coin as opposed to a bank deposit, which actually pays interest. Big ask, sacrifice your any interest income. So I think on the face of it, it's actually not going to increase the use of stable coins hugely. The increase in stable coins will come from it being a medium, if you like, for dealing in cryptos. And so if that market continues to grow, stable coins will continue to grow. I think there's something like $300 billion worth of stable coins or something. It will help finance the debt, but it's all short-term finance. I'm talking about, government debt. It's all short-term finance. But I mean, it's not going to increase very much from there, I don't think. And if I'm right about, the problems with credit, then I think the crypto scene is going to disappear with it, I'm afraid. But it does actually regulate it. And I think the thing about regulation that we need to understand is that if you regulate something, then it increases its credibility. So you will get all sorts of people turning around and thinking, what can I do with this? And I think what we'll see is we will see entrepreneurial financial bods coming up with hybrid solutions. I mean, one which I would strongly recommend, and I give this as a free idea to anyone who wants to deploy it, is to produce, if you like, an investment unit, which is half gold, half stablecoin. Now, that way, you don't pay any interest on the stablecoin bit. You could market it as diversification, if you like, of assets. This is a good investment idea. Instead of just having all your deposits, if you like, at risk in a bank or in the banking system, with CBDCs, it could be different. Not CBDCs, sorry, with stable coins, mixture of stable coins and gold. This is something you could promote. And of course, if you get on half, sorry, excuse me, the door keeps on blowing open. If you get half of the unit, if you like, or the investment proposition being in stable coins, then that's going to generate enough income to pay for gold storage, which for a bank is 6 or 7 basis points or something, and pay quite a lot of the marketing costs as well. So there's a good idea for someone. I think that would be not quite what the US Treasury would expect, but you regulate something and open up a few ideas to people. You've got to expect a few different outcomes.